Hey, Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you this sketch, which is the inspiration for this layout. And this is the next episode of Sketch It Up, Sketch It Down, where my friend Iris and I use the same sketch and we will do different size layouts for this. So this is a 12 by 12 layout, and Iris is working on a 3 by 8 layout in a it's like a traveler's notebook. So be sure to go over to her channel and check out what it is that she's doing, because it's a really cool spread. So the sketch, this is kind of my go-to design when I'm not sure what to do or can't think out of the box or have an assignment that I need to get done. This is kind of a standard for me. So I am working with a Scraproom kit, and this is Color Shine, and I have two pictures. So instead of the square picture that's on that big pattern paper border on the right hand side, I have decided to use two 4x3 photos, and I am going to just use that one strip, and behind the photos I have some photo layers or paper layers that are behind the photo in the sketch. So I've taken one of those layers and I've turned it into a photo, and then I do have the title down where the sketch is, and that's the cluster that I'm working on here. When you get the Scraproom kits, you get a limited selection of embellishments, and so I like that because it limits what you can work with and it limits your options, which means that you don't get overwhelmed by all of the choices. So I had thought that I would put that phrase sentiment there and then put a tag and then put a title in, but that was too much. So I went with that journal spot there, which was perfect for the amount of journaling that I have. And then I'm going to put the title and nestle that underneath there. So I have these two photos. One is of the cherry blossoms, and the other is of my daughter Mia and I in front of the cherry blossoms. And I had originally thought that I would back it one of the photos or some of the photos or both of the photos in pink, but the pink really changed the color contrast in the photo, and I didn't like that. So I needed something more cool than warm, so I went with this cooler green stripe, and I'm just going to put that behind the photo of both of us, which kind of distinguishes and separates the two photos that are going to be pretty much on top of each other in the layout there. I have a glassine bag and a smaller doily, circle doily, that I thought would just be fun for some of the layers that are called for in the sketch, but with my own take on the layers. And I abandoned the doily because it doesn't work with the glassine bag. I think you either need the glassine bag or the doily, but both don't work. So I added an extra strip to this layout. The sketch doesn't call for that, but that's the beauty of sketches, is you can personalize it and make it work for you. The reason I added this strip is because I felt like the numbers behind the photo were very busy, and there's something about just putting that strip behind the photo that kind of grounds the layout a little bit more. Typically when I have two photos like this, I usually pop one on top of the other and put one on some fun foam, but I feel like the glassine bag kind of raises that top photo of my daughter and I up off the page, and so I didn't really need to put any of the fun foam. So in a design principle standard, this layout, while I didn't actually apply the design standards because the sketch kind of applied them, things move on a diagonal from that top right down to the bottom left. I don't have trios of things, and I don't need to have trios of things because there really isn't that visual triangle, because the line of movement just goes top right to bottom left, or it could go the other way, bottom left to top right, and that's fine, but that is kind of the design angle that this layout moves in. So I'm just using some of the embellishments up there to add a little bit more visual interest to that top right hand corner, because there's really a lot when you look at that bottom left corner with the journaling and the title there. You've got that really bright green, which I did to offset the bright green that's the number 5 that's behind the photo, and that says beautiful. Actually, that does not say beautiful. The pink says beautiful, but that says remember this. And I just like the way that it ties those two clusters together. I thought that I would make the title be Beautiful Together, but I had a limited selection of words, and so I just went with beautiful. And remember, this is kind of like subtitles, is like fluff words, filler things, and then I would use together as our title, because we did spend a couple of days of spring break together while the boys were off doing different things. So this was the opener of our spring break. So that pretty much sums up my layout. I am going to get out some mist, and I'm going to just put some fine mist sprays, blobs, in to just tie everything together there. So if you play along, we would love for you to play along and use the sketch and use the hashtag sketch it up, sketch it down. We would love to see what it is that you have to do and how this sketch inspires you. Be sure to go and check out Iris's video as well. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you all are doing well. Come back soon. Take care.